And there was a pivotal, I had completely forgotten you did Happy Days.
I did a Happy Days.
You were Fonzie's frenemy or something, right?
I kicked Fonzie. I got dressed up in a judo karate outfit, and I think I'm legendarily the first guy to actually strike Fonzie. I kicked him through the stained glass window of Al's drive-in. Pretty big stuff, man.
Very big stuff.
And by the way, Happy Days had been on for like 12 years or something like that.
Well, he was jumping sharks.
Well,
he was all kinds of things. He was getting kicked through stained glass windows by Tom Hanks.
It was still a ratings powerhouse. And the guys who wrote that episode, who were the head writers on Happy Days at that time, Lowell Gans and Babaloo Mandel. Ron Howard had already left the show and he was directing. And they had written this movie called Splash. And it was at Disney, and no one wanted to work for Disney, and no one would take the job. And eventually they said, hey, this guy who kicked Fonzie through his plate glass window might be good. And so I ended up auditioning for that. And I remember going over to the Disney studios, and it had not been refurbished. This was like, they had built it in like 1958 and hadn't changed a whit.
Yeah, it was on its kind of its last legs at that point.
It looked like a Greyhound
right?
bus station in Selma, Alabama. Yeah, it kind of like looked like that. But Ron Howard and Brian Grazer they had just hung up their shingle. They were looking in order to make a partnership, and they were making this relatively low budget movie about a mermaid. And I went in for a couple of auditions thinking I was auditioning for, the wisecracking brother or something like that. And I got a call from Opie Cunningham, Ron Howard. Holy cow. Hey, yeah. Hey, listen, I want to ask you something. Oh, first of all, you have the job. That's one thing. I said, what? Yeah, I want you to play the guy because I had read for a thing and I went back. I want you to come in and audition for the lead. And I want you to do it. And I did it. But then he said, listen, I'm getting static from the studio because I really want Darryl Hannah to play Madison the Mermaid. And I knew who Darryl Hannah was because she had already been in Blade Runner. She'd already been in a couple of really, really great movies. She was already quite formidable. And for some reason, the geniuses that ran Disney at that time were saying, we don't know, is she funny, blah, blah, blah. And he said, I really, really want her, so I want to do a screen test. So I want you to come in and do a screen test with Darryl. And I said, I don't know what that means. And he said, well, you'll come in and we'll do some stuff and you'll do it. And we're going to shoot it on film and it's going to be well lit. And so it's going to be a pretty big deal. It's going to take a day, but I need you to come in. And I said, I do what I'm told here, boss. So, but can I just ask a question? And he said, yeah, what? I said, is it possible that I help you do this screen test and Darryl gets the job and I get fired because we're not even going to see you on it. We'll be over your shoulder and stuff like that. And but I wanted to make him guarantee that I could not screw up this opportunity. And he said, no, it's not about you. But I still had this harboring feeling that said, well, we love her, but who's that guy with the squeaky voice and the big hair? Do we need him? But it all worked out.